Chapter 3. I wanted to do that in the Flash Gordon voice. Chapter 3. The Icewind Dale. You get your constitution check, then you get your long rest, and you go up to level 5. So Corin is actually too warm, starts taking his winter clothing off. He's like, bit hot in here, like. So we have nobody gets it under a 20. So yeah, we you spend a warm night all spooning around Corin, and you get a long rest, and you now level up. Hurrah! Well done.
We didn't die.
You didn't die.
Yes.
So awakening the next morning, you have a breakfast of rations or whatevs, my babes. And then where are you heading, Andy? You were heading in a northwesterly direction.
Yes. Well, I suggest that we continue in a northwesterly direction, aiming for a bit of high ground so we can get our bearings and work out where the sledge is.
Yeah, so you head northwest. There's a hillock to your sort of left, and when you get up that, you realise that you have arrived more or less right next to the place where you turned north to go to the spire. I'm going to move you as you see a fork in the river.
Right.
And you arrive here. You're on top of this hill right here.
Right.
So you now have your bearings because you saw the Y shape in the river.
Right. Somebody remind me where we left the sledge. It's been a crazy week.
Tackling southwest.
Got you. Right.
Right, so you can hike another 7 miles because you're on feet again. You're on the feet today. Dave had received a sending spell, if you recall, to say that the Duergar were preparing to attack within a 10 day. And do you remember what else had been said, Earl?
I don't. It was a sexy woman's voice that we didn't recognise.
That was marked on the map by a secret method.
Yeah, I need to sit down and play with that a bit.
Right, Andy, so you can move another 7 miles today.
Right. Well, what do we want to do? Do we want to head for safety, or do we want to head for the sledge and Bob and the dog?
Sledge.
Right, fair enough.
So now that you've got a point of reference, your ranger abilities kick in, and you easily head in a straight line.
Uphill and downdale.
Uphill and downdale. However, you've been marching for about an hour or so, and the DM rolls a 9, which is probably not that good. I'm not going to lie.
You meet a friendly high-speed caravan that gives you straight out the sledge.
Yeah, you meet a travelling doctor in his little blue box.
Subject, what's his name? Finally catches up with you.
Right, so you're yomping across the tundra, and you all actually, in fact, just catch the flutter of wings. You look up, and plummeting down on you, it looks like there's a deer plummeting out of the sky. Antlers and everything.
I pull my silver spear out and set it, and then crouch under it.
So Tracy and Andy, can you roll me a d20 each, please?
Just a straight d20.
Just a straight d20, yeah.
So Andy makes it, and the DM's like, Andy, make a text roll.
Oh, that rolls off a critical.
Wow, such a terrible set of rolls. Right, so diving out of the sky, it looks initially like it's a deer corpse, but it actually is a part deer with wings, and it's the strangest looking creature you've ever seen. It dives directly towards Lantesh and tries to make a swift attack. Sadly, you heard the swiftest of wings, so we just get to roll initiative normally.
Radio.
As they did not get surprised, diving down at you from above.
Awesome, that rolled off a 14. Brilliant.
But knowing my luck, it'll just fireball them out of the sky.
Ooh, fireball!
I would hope so.
So I get a 2 and an 11, but it's not going to go. So Lantesh, this creature dives almost vertically down and tries to scoop you up in its claws. But you get to go first. You have a few seconds to act. What do you want to do?
Lightning bolt.
Okay, subtle.
Awesome.
Do I see anything to cast at, or do I just?
Yeah. I'm desperately trying to pull me up some just the plain snowy tundra that I have. Icy plains, your favorite and mine. So I don't have a good description handy. I'll grab you one as I'm pulling you in for this encounter. So use a yomping basically haphazardly through the snow. This is the only thing with random encounters compared to normal encounters is you have to set them up on the fly. Also, the creature doesn't have the description as part of the little tag, which would be handy. I'm not going to lie. Right now, there you are. Thank you. I'm just sharing that doesn't help either. Okay, I'm just going to share the map. Right, so they're diving down on you vertically, Tracy. It's 30 feet above you in the air. Can everybody see?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Brissy,
Oh,
for
God.
instance.
And are they both coming for me?
Yes,
Oh,
it's kind of like the corgi deal. They're heading down towards you, and they have their claws outstretched as if to scoop you up.
Just move so you get them in a line, like the both.
Oh, there's gonna be so
Yeah,
much
they are
destruction.
kind of.
It blends the body and wings of a bird with the head of a stag.
To about there, and then be in a nice little line there.
So you move a little forward. You need to target them both, Tracy.
Right, how do I do that?
Hold down control and left click them both, and it'll target both, and then it does the saves and the damage together.
Do I roll just second separate for that other one or not? Or do you want us to?
No, you'll have to have them both targeted. So you hold down control and left click the second one, and that's it. And then you'll have to roll the save again. Saying it'll do them for it should do them for everything. Right. Why did that not save?
No idea.
So let me try the. See, I've just cast it there, and it's just done both.
Yeah, I had them both highlighted and nothing.
Did you click the little effect button that looks like a D20, the cast button?
Yeah. The one that's left to the fire. Yeah, that's got save on. Cast save Dex DC 15.
Yeah, okay, that's right. There you go. Well, roll your damage. Zap! Right, so the lightning bolt tears through them. Feathers fly in all directions, and it appears that they had bitten off more than they can chew because they weren't expecting that kind of damage. Is that your turn, Tracy?
Can I run towards Asia now?
You can, yes.
Run away from the impending doom that's about to be fallen.
Yes, you can.
You'll already be cooked, mate.
I stand behind Sanwan, then I know I'm going to be safe of the fireball.
Right, Sanwin, are you going to negotiate with these creatures?
Well, what was the most? Did they look intelligent? Or
No, I was just asking if you were just going to fireball them.
I'll say to them, land now or I'll burn you out the sky.
No, they just screech at you, and they were diving for Lantesh the way eagles and hawks dive at corgis. Chihuahuas. So you get this.
Target them both.
Yeah.
Press that.
There you go. Both fail their save. Oh dear, this is going to be bad for them.
Press this.
Right, with a loud explosion, fire lights the sky, and the crispy remains of two peritons crash, sizzling into the snow.
I'll turn around and go, I've been working on a new spell.
That was not much of it.
Looks like it.
I've got an image in my head right now of two massive burnt turkeys. I've just come out the oven and landed in the snow.
Yeah, just a smash. They splash into the snow, dead.
And a small hobbit ranger rubbing his chin and going, I wonder if they taste like venison.
Bits of them probably do.
I'll race you to it, Andy.
I'm sure some of them do.
Only problem with that spell is the targeting's slightly janky, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Nothing bad could possibly happen because of that, could it?
Oh, Rich, so many bad things are going to happen because of this spell. So many bad things.
Yes, it was trying to do a dive by the...
Richie, do I know what these are?
Fucking dead is what they are.
Dead deer birds.
All right, okay.
So I tried to identify them. You roll a disadvantage because there's not much left.
Yeah. There's just like the land falls quiet. There's just a feather burned at the edges, just slowly floats backwards and forwards to the ground.
I love it's like this huge lightning bolt shoots through them and they think, "Fuck, this is a bad owl. Fuck." What's that dot coming towards?
So, what do you want to do now then? Push on. If Andy wants to get the skinning knife out, it'll take it'll take time to do that.
We can take a couple of launches off quick though.
And in them when we were resting.
Well, just strap them to my backpack. I can carry them.
Yeah, we'll strap them to Ace, and then Ace, you can drag them. Then we've got a good lunch for tonight. Because apparently Lantesh has a surprise for us this evening.
Oh, good. This is just what I want to hear. That Lantesh has got a... Well, you can't... Even the mighty Aisha can't drag both, but you could probably drag one.
Can I put it on a Tensor's floating disc?
Yeah, you could load them onto a Tensor's floating disc. Well, one of them anyway.
To be fair, they've been fried by lightning and then hit by a fireball. Are they really worth skinning? It might be worth taking a haunch or two off.
Well, the thing is, when you use in for leather, you burn the fur off and scrape it. But yeah, half of done for you now.
Hey, good point. Good point. I thought of that.
So you're going to take a pereton haunch just to try it. Just to say, we've eaten everything in Icewind Dale.
Found a taste of Venice found out.
So
I look at the colour of my eye and going, no, we haven't quite eaten everything yet.
So pushing on, you arrive at the edge of the mountains to where you will camp out for the night, presumably.
Yep. Oh God, hang on a minute.
What?
That might
Okay, so you make camp, and we're going to need another survival roll for you.
Right.
So
hang
if
on.
people are lighting a campfire kit, everybody enable your campfire modifier and things like that as you huddle together again. Once again,
Can I
Excuse me
cast
for
me?
oh, you can cast your hut now, can't you? You don't need
Yeah.
all that shit.
Sorry, Rich.
No, it's fine. So Lantesh goes, yeah, I've got this, and makes a little bubble that you can all sleep in without any problems. So I
That's
can.
cool.
and it's warm in there. We can
And
take
it's
our trousers
warm.
off.
You don't
And you
have
look
to
out-
take your clothes off.
You just look outside, and for some reason you can't see it, and then you look inside and you think, "Wait a minute!" And then you do this in and out a few times, and then you get the gist of, "Oh, we can see out, but nobody can see us."
We've got proper spells now, lads. Fireballs and lightning bolts and shit.
That's
And
really useful.
I'll cast create food and water so we can have a nice feast in the hut.
Well, yes, but we also have a flying stag thing.
Yeah, you've got a Perrotin doobie to eat. So, yeah, roast Perrotin haunch.
Yeah, but Annie's like, that's just me starter.
It's like chicken. It's a bit gamey.
Lovely.
A strange cross between venison and chicken.
Look at all, just slightly overdone.
Well,
Right.
you know, I'm not a chef.
So,
Just pull your shot a bit the next day.
yeah, that was
Sorry.
a
3
little,
mile.
a little excessive.
Rich might eat 70.
Who says that?
D&D.
Why should it be 17?
Mail shit.
That's plus 3, yeah?
+1 my deck.
Yeah,
I've got a shield with
yeah.
and I got that AC, that bench thing that gives one.
Oh no, that's an effective. If you look in your,
Do I get that anywhere, or do I have the
no, you've got the effect on. You should have any fighting style defense AC1. It's an effect.
So it takes that out then.
It does, yeah. Like when you get missed by one, it'll say missed by effect because it takes that into account. Right. So, you see, do you keep watch or do you just go all Zardoz and Kip?
No, we'll have to keep a watch because if we don't, bad things will come up and bite testicles.
Well, you spend a pleasant night without being disturbed, sadly, and then you push on to the Cackling Chasm, which should be less than 8 miles.
Just get them up. So we'll go. There we are.
Yeah, so you can reach it by end of day. Excellent. I get to advance once more the calendar. You arrive at the Cackling Chasm. There's no sign of the gnolls, and it's all silent. The yips and the barks that were echoing through the mountains at this point have completely silenced. Bob is waiting by the sled, and you see that he's broken open one of the crates, and the dogs don't look starving. And he says, "Those books you left me, one of them was about free will, so I took it upon myself to interpret looking after the dogs as giving them food as well."
Spot on, man.
Excellent.
Well done, Bob.
This is how
Mightily
the revolution
impressed.
happens. So you have travelled a full day. You have retrieved the sled and all of its wonderfulness.
Awesome.
I had a thought when you said about free will. I thought of Cry Red Dwarf. And
Well, that's what I kind of think Bob's like.
Won't that make Asia sister?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, there is a few coins in the party fund that need distributing. There you go.
Oh,
He loves the money.
Money.
So you have the sled. It's now the 2nd of Alturiac, which is February, and you've spent a couple of days travelling. So I assume you have another sleep in a tiny hut.
Yes.
You can't fit all the dogs in, sadly, but you spend a pleasant evening in a tiny domed sleeping place. Then where are you heading?
Any idea where the dwarf
Well-
on the launch the attack?
I guess no.
I don't remember her being terribly forthcoming about where the attack was coming from.
So gonna have the head there, Dinnerville, where the base, where the
Okay, so what happened was you'd received a message saying that they'd captured that guy who'd escaped, and what was left of him had confessed that the attack was coming within a 10-day. And then Earl had suddenly unravelled the map and started sniffing the map, to which nobody had passed any comment because, that's the least crazy thing that happens in this group. And he seemed to be looking up at something that wasn't there. And Earl had then suddenly come out with he needs to find some bioluminescent light. And you're like, you just sat and watch them sniffing the map. You recall that now?
Yes,
I have
yes,
an
yes, I do.
idea. I have an idea. It's probably insane, but listen me out. If I drink that potion that lets me use illusions, could I not sit in a dark place and just keep making it illusions of different coloured light?
Your
I know I'm
Your
a
friendly
genius.
ghost in your head said probably not. I think it's to do with wavelength rather than just appearance. Illusion is just that. 'Tis illusion. I mean, you might be able to find something in a cave system or an alchemy shop or...
We could go and have a word with Howl.
Wait a minute. What? Is there any bioluminescent habitats in this area for fauna and flora?
I had a look and there were none described in this area.
Then we should head back to town promptly because we know a chap who might have something new. That cast town portal, guys. We'll get the Frenchander.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, Andy, so do you want to give me an animal handling roll as you load up the tent? Remember, you need a 5, 10 or 15. You load up the tent and cast your
I'll help them.
what's-its. So you can do your animal handling roll with advantage, Andy.
And
Right.
guardians.
So just hold down control and just click your skill and it should roll with advantage.
Right, we'll try it. Hold down control and click me scale.
You get a 10, so you move the standard amount, which is 15 miles you can do in a single day.
Hang on then.
Much, you shout as you leap into the... If you can get onto a road,
Yeah, onto a road.
and then you can move, you've got 2 miles left, but you move at 5 miles an hour. So
Right,
you
that
can...
puts us there.
Yeah, so you could probably make East Haven if you wanted to stay in, or you could just stay on the road. You could also push the dogs if you wanted, or you could just camp as you come bombing along the east way.
Do we just stick the hut up again?
I think now that Tracy just casts that and Bracy casts someone's food and drink, but that's someone's crazy amounts of food and drink, like 30 gallons of water or something in it.
Like a full banquet.
Yeah.
It is to just say bland food though, Andy.
We have bits. We can just add bits of animals to the bland food. Like we'll turn the bland food into a stew because everything's better when you stew it.
When we get back to Bryn Chandler and we're about to say, Howl, I'm going looking for a spice shop.
Yeah, I'll come with you. I've got a plan as well.
Right,
I've got a really clever plan.
So basically you can easily camp on the side of the road in the tiny hut. The only problem is you can't get the dogs in the sled and Bob in. Well, you could get Bob in, but I assume you're just leaving Bob outside with the dogs?
Bob
Yeah.
can stand watch all night.
Very good. So we don't have to worry about that. Day passes, and then you finally ride into Bryn Shander. I assume.
We could do the business.
Yeah, 5 mile an hour, so you can do it in like 2 hours.
There we are.
So you ride up to Bryn Shander, and the gate guards shout down a greeting. We've been told to watch out for you. There's been an emergency council meeting called that you've been asked to attend.
How does this not surprise me?
Oh, we'll best head over there. Is there a spice shop round here?
There will be, yeah.
I'll get directions to the spice shop, and should we hit up Howl in the spice shop and then go to this meeting?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Excellent.
Do we want Howl first?
Right, so riding to Howell's business, it is as much as it normally is. A little dusty, a little worn, and you go in and you ding the bell. Blearily, Howell comes out from the back. It's nice to see you again.
Howl. I need some bioluminescence.
Well, he says, normally that's grown off plant. Now you're not the law, are you? Because if you're the law, you'd have to tell us if I ask you if you're the law. He says,
That's not true, but also no, not the
I
law.
may have some mushrooms grown in the cellar that emit bioluminescence.
I need them.
Howl, could we pay you in dragon eggshell?
Oh, he says, yes, you could. Do you happen to have any handy?
I rummage about in my backpack and I pull out a handful.
He takes a look at it and then sort of like looks at it and then like squints with one eye and then gingerly sticks his tongue out and like licks it with the tip of his tongue and he goes, oh, that's very good. Aye.
Yeah, white dragon eggshell.
Oh, yes, apparently it's a very nice aphrodisiac.
I wouldn't know, never having tried
says,
it.
"Oh,
I don't really want to ask Howl.
We'll find out, won't we? Yeah, yes. Excellent. What were you attempting to pay him for? The use of his bioluminescences?
Yes, the use of his bioluminescences. So what I shall do then is I shall drag that into there. So I've put the white dragon eggshell in the party sheet for Howl to take as he wishes.
Excellent. So he will sniff to that away because it's apparently an aphrodisiac. But you're like, you don't know how long it's been in that cell and it was a bit like, icky and like he's just licked it and you're like, ooh. So he leads you through the back of the shop and down into the cellar and it looks perfectly normal until he closes the light off and there's long rows of mushrooms, shall we say, of various alchemical and supernatural uses which glow a wide assortment of bioluminescent light, and revealed the map underneath the bioluminescent light is a marking, one that you have been looking for.
Aha.
There there you go.
Do we got our outpost?
No. Down south, near the Id Ascendant.
Sunblight?
Sunblight Fortress is marked upon the map. It glows a luminous green colour under bioluminescent light.
Well, I know where we're going.
Apparently,
Yes.
this is the forest. Now, because that covers up the actual map, I'm going to hide the Sunblight bit for a second.
Right.
Okay, it's actually in the middle of those mountains. So to get to it, you'd have to go that bit of snow to the right and go all the way around the outside, or cross across mountains in a sled, which is not easy.
So kind of go round the mountains and then follow that little valley that runs west to east.
Yes.
Got you.
Okay, so that is...
Not a bother.
And it looks to be on the edge of the mountains on the inside of a valley that's cut off from all of the rest of Pentown.
Uh-huh.
So he says, well, while you're here, can I interest you in any healing potions or anything else? I'm just about to knot up some aphrodisiacs. I mean, I'm sure you won't need it.
How much are healing potions?
50 gold pieces each.
Ooh, I'll have how much?
I've got 6 in stock.
I'll take one, please.
Ooh,
Guess what? I'll say to him.
what?
I've learned how to cast fireball.
He says, oh, dear God, I better get me insurance up to date.
You're in sewer ants.
Me insure ants, yeah. Potion of healing, D&D, Dungeon Master's Guide. There you are. I will chuck that in the party sheet for you. There is one potion of healing, Earl. He's like, lovely, I've had these in stock for ages, and, adventurers like you, I expected that I would need them, but you're obviously so good that you never get knocked unconscious.
You'd be surprised by how often I lie down on the floor. It just says potion here. I assume that's the potion of healing.
At this point, I'm hanging onto the counter
Yes.
of towels, and you can see my shoulders going up and down.
Yeah, just a tear running down your face.
Right, I suppose we'd better go and pick up some spices and then... oh, wait, how?
Yes.
Is there any way to make a flavour very concentrated?
I would imagine you just boil it down in an alchemical beaker of one sort or another.
All right, how much would it cost to get, enough jars of flavourful liquid to flavour many gallons of water?
It depends what you want to flavour it with, I guess.
Well, I was thinking beefy stock taste.
But not real beefy stock.
No, just the taste of beef stock. You know, if you basically had, I don't know, a dead animal and then you boiled it down and got all the juices out and then boiled the juices down into a concentrate.
I'm intrigued. Have you got dead animals to boil down?
What we do have bits of this thing that attacked us. Here, we'll dump the bits of the dead
Keratin on top of, and he's like, okay. Well, you have given me that white dragon egg, so I can have a go at boiling it down for you. I'm not sure.
I want as much as you can make, but it has to be really concentrated. Like one. Could you make it into dried little cubes?
I'll certainly try. Are you trying to make Bovril?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll certainly try, he says.
Good man. I'll give him 10 gold for his trouble, because if we invent Bovril, we are so fucking made.
Okay, so you, after attempting to invent Bovril and seeing Howl, got a secret about Howl to tell you anyway. Right, so you've laid the early groundwork to invent Bovril, and you've touched up your healing kit. What is the plan now?
Go to that meeting?
Best go to the meeting, I suppose.
Right, the soldiers at the gate have reported that you were there. You're quite famous now, especially now that Earl can blow things up. And there seems to be a bit of a hullabaloo at the speaker's place in Bryn Shander. And as you lead up, the old man is waiting at the door, having a roll up. And the
like it for him.
I'm afraid to ask how.
Prestidigitation.
Again, sidebar, I read Savage Pathfinder, and how cantrips work is you cast a cantrip and you base the effect off one of the spells you already know. So you could use Fireball to light cigarettes with as a cantrip. So he lights the fag and he's like, oh, thank Christ you're here. Says it's not good news, I'm afraid.
It very rarely is.
There's a bit of a to do. Come on through. They're busy shouting an argument in the main hall.
Right, we'll come on through.
As you come on through, you see a guy speaking, and he's got a very smarmy sort of accent, and got a picture of him actually here. He's standing speaking before the council, and as you open the door, he's like, and here they are. There's a surprise. How fortuitous you've decided to join us. Please.
Well, we were delayed by fixing all the problems in the area. How are you? Have we met?
I'm Speaker Maxildar from Targot.
Oh, we haven't met. yet. That's a pity.
No, he says, just as I was discussing the problems that we were having with Goodmead, I was proposing an emergency vote as Goodmead has now lost another speaker. At this, it gives you a sideways glance. And I propose, due to the urgent nature of this, we elect Shandar Froth immediately. There's some grumbling from around the other 10 towns, but he slams his hand down and says, look, we can't wait any longer. We've had weeks of trying to elect a speaker, and due to circumstances, we're out. So I demand a vote now. So the vote, and it carries. Shandar Froth is a red-bearded dwarf who you may have seen around Goodmead.
So he'll be in that other bloke's pocket then.
And he's like, I'll serve Goodmead in the 10 Towns Council as best as I can. And Nair says, now that that's taken care of, and he looks straight, he goes, Targos demands these criminals who have caused irrevocable harm to Goodmead's livelihood to be incarcerated at Revel's End. Shandar Froth immediately chirps up and goes, Goodmead fully supports the request of Targos.
I'll open my hand.
The council erupts into chaos. You do what?
I'll open my hand and conjure a ball of fire.
The old man puts his hand on his shoulder and says, look, I know it's dropped on you a bit, but try and hold your temper, please.
Oh, I'm perfectly holding my temper. But does it get everyone's attention?
It does. Duvessa, who is the speaker for Bryn Shander, who I believe you have met, stands up and braces a gavel on the desk for order. He says, order, order!
Can I dead casually light me pipe off this little ball of fire?
I'll hold it slightly one side so he can light his pipe and go, all right for you? Good. And I'll put it away as if that was the whole reason I lit it.
Yeah.
And I'll turn around and say,
Duvessa says, no, the council cannot pass a mandatory judgment without evidence. Please allow the accused to speak. And she indicates to you.
What crimes have we committed?
The Speaker for Targos has passed information to the council that the livelihood of Goodmead has been irrevocably damaged by the actions of your group, thus rendering them unable to fend for themselves and giving us several hundred more refugees. Obviously, you weren't here to refute these.
I'll turn around in message form and say to Sanwin, do tell them that what they were doing. What they were doing with the bees and the bloody troll, because I'm sure the council would like to know exactly what they got up to in that place.
I'll turn around and nod at her and look back and wait patiently for him to finish his charges. So your charges are that we ended a potential disaster at Goodmead.
As the Council of 10 Towns, I have to listen to all of the complaints of the constituent members. The council would like to hear your side of this story.
Please. Is there anything else, or is it just the Goodmead that you have up that leave there? I'll point leave. Or have we done anything else that seems to have upset anyone? Because as far as I'm concerned, we've put ourselves at risk on an almost daily basis to help the people of 10 Town, because it is our nature to. If we have committed a crime, then we will plead guilty to it. But first, I would like to say, is there anything else before I?
Neth looks smug at this, and he says, no, but destroying the livelihood of an entire town should be answerable.
Oh, I agree. Please allow me to explain the situation. I'll stand so that I am in a slightly raised position, and I'll say, my friends, my dear friends, the people who we have tried to help and who has in turn welcomed us and helped us. We arrived in Goodmead originally because of the devastating loss of the mead shipment. We rectified that problem. We then returned to Goodmead and were alarmed that some very dangerous changes had been made in secret to the mead. My friends, the mead is consumed across 10 towns. Would you agree?
It is indeed.
Someone had took it upon themselves to change the recipe. Now, there's nothing wrong with changing the recipe. That's true. But they changed the recipe to use a new breed of bee. The bees feed upon carrion. This carrion was provided by stopping the burial of any creatures and having the bees eat the body. Very close to cannibalism, I must admit. Too close for my liking. But what was worse, when we investigated, we found that they had imprisoned an ice troll and were using its flesh as a living host for the hive. Unfortunately, these bees managed to animate that hive and control it. We had absolutely no choice but to destroy this. Had we not, the bees could have done untold damage, not just to Goodmead, but to the entire of 10 towns. The economy could have been devastated. Worse, still, what happens if these bees had started attacking people? You know about how strange animals have acted because of the lack of food.
Yeah, and those bees turned round and attacked the speaker, culminating in his death.
We did everything we could to do this without having to harm the creatures. If we could have shut down the operation or even suspended it so that the council could have ruled, we would have, but we could not. And unfortunately, we had to take direct action. Now, ourselves, we are not proponents of direct action. You can look through our history and we will find so much time where we have carefully discussed and tried to cajole a situation in a way that we have helped others without using direct action. But in this one case, in this one terrible case, we had no choice but to act.
And don't forget, Sanwin, we did leave the rest of the ordinary bees completely unharmed.
Well, yes, and we also suggested a way that they could use other flora and fauna to nurture the bees again, the original bee. We didn't just go in, destroy something, and then leave. We went in, tried to do our best to help, and then when it failed, we did our best to encourage the growth of the old industry they had.
Right. So you get the feeling, apart from Lantesh and Isha, you get the feeling that, one, Neth is not happy by this. However, Duvessa does seem to be happy with the way you're speaking. He seems to shoot a sideways glance along to Neth, and he says, you've spoken well. And Neth stands out of turn, and he says, be that as it may, the ends cannot justify the means. At this point, Markham slams his hands down on the desk, pulls himself to his feet, and speaks with a raised voice with steel in it. May I remind the council that it was the Speaker of Targos that forced through the human sacrifice policy based solely on the evidence of that Druidess Ravison and her damn sister. At this, the crowd erupts.
Excuse me, pardon, Ravison and her sister? Who's Ravison's sister? Because we haven't killed her yet.
You did find a dead sister in the tomb.
Ah, right. And Ravison's the one that had the bush that blew up.
Yeah, Ravison.
And while we're on, if the ends can't necessarily justify the means, does that also include making meat from dead flesh of human beings and then selling it to other human beings who don't know what they're consuming and they don't know the effect that it may have on them?
Right, Neth at this point is looking like he's got a face like a smack dot, and he says,
he's about to have one.
Targos demands a vote. The council, however, vote in your favour, apart from Nath, and strangely enough, Shandar Frost.
Nath, my friend, where I come from, there are alternate methods to determine right and wrong in a situation like this.
He says, very well, I can't speak for 10 Towns Council, but what I can speak for is Targos, and I banish these adventurers from the city of Targos upon pain of incarceration at Revel's End. And then, with a little squeak, as does Goodmead, told Shandar, they turned the storm out of the room.
Well, let's just hope nothing bad happens in either of those towns that we're not allowed to go and help with.
Yes, it would be a shame if there was a lot of bloody dwarfs turn up, wouldn't it?
Duvessa Shane speaks. I'm sorry for the tone of this meeting. I honestly believe that Neth used this as an excuse. I don't know what reason that he seems to have some kind of reason to get you.
He's up to summit.
Possibly.
I know what he hates us.
However, he was sort of right about one thing. Things are more dire than we let on. In 3 months, 10 Town will have run out of food. But more importantly, in 4 months, we'll run out of whale oil. And once we run out of whale oil, everybody dies. Obviously, the main problem is oil must be stopped as a priority. But once that is done, the pass must be cleared as soon as possible to provide relief caravans and perhaps get the elderly and the infirm out. It would take years of digging to clear the pass. However, there's a legend of a mighty horn borne by a frost giant which could emit a sound such as to clear the pass. Legends say that it's buried in the tomb of the Jarl of Jarls. Chrissy, you have heard stories of this tomb. Your nana used to tell you stories, and it's only a vague memory because you were a child, but she used to tell you the stories of the great frost giants and that fucking hell. Here we go, trying to remember Regi Rariava. Regi Yariava, the leader of the frost giants, indeed born a great horn. He says, I've no doubt that Neth was using this to manipulate the 10 Towns Council, and I understand that sometimes sacrifices have to be made, and the sheriff has spoken for you, and I fully he gives me your full support, and I fully believe that you did the best that you possibly could. But that, in effect, is the problem. It's starting to break down. The speaker from East Haven says, yes, crime rates in East Haven are up 300%. Overnight, it was if somebody had flicked a switch and then there was no kind of problem and everybody in the dog came out and started committing criminal acts. I don't know what happens. It was a few weeks ago, but it's like they've got no fear of repercussions in East Haven anymore. We're on the verge of riot every single day.
Oh, the mayor, as he said, I'll turn around and say, oh, you know that guy you burnt at the stake?
Yes.
He wasn't the original guy. He was a simulacrum of him. He went a bit mad. Anyway, it's not really important at the moment, but
we've dealt with that as well.
Yeah, we've sorted that out. As well as a lot of other things. We have had information from an unknown source that there will be a large Duergar attack in the coming week.
Shit, he says. Excuse my Callum shite.
That's all right. We are going to try and nip it in the bud with our usual method, although apparently direct action is against some people's...
Unless, of course, they decide to attack Targos and then we can't intervene.
Well, exactly. If
All good, mate. And that would be such a shame.
No, I'm sorry, but I won't allow them, even if they are attacking those two cities, to succeed. And every loss of the people of 10 Town is a loss to everyone. I know that they've branded us and made enemies of us, but that doesn't mean the people that they support are the same. So, unfortunately, if they attack either M cities, I'll still stand and try to save them. And I know you will. We are not the type who will let the others suffer for the short-sighted their league.
And Duvessa says, and as I'm to understand it, I also have you to thank for a certain amount of extra soup being provided to the poor and the needy, although I'm not supposed to mention anything official.
Yes, that's us as well.
Also, the Gnolls will avoid the human settlements because they seem to have had a problem with their leader. Now they can leave. Now they've left the area, and the goblins will no longer raid 10 towns.
This is excellent news.
Basically, we're all in this together.
Aye, and irrespective of what that bloke from Targos says, we're not just in it for ourselves.
There's nothing, in fact, my friends, there is nothing to be in it for. Adventurers in the realms can make ridiculous amounts of money and such. We're doing this to help people. We're not doing it for our own engrandishment. So, I think our next step is to deal with this dwarf issue, and then we probably have to rush off somewhere else. Right after that, we don't seem to stop for more than a moment in one place between running around putting out proverbial fires.
Yes, this meeting's been going on for 2 days, hopefully waiting for you to come into town. If you could find the horn, but I don't even know where you would start looking. It's a local legend. Basically, you know that it's a tale told among the Goliaths. Mm-hmm. With the horn, we could probably clear the path.
I'll say you, Sanwin, wasn't there a frost giant frozen in that cave?
Yeah, I don't
where the wolves were.
One, but yes, someone killed him. Was there previous to us? Was there a group of adventurers in the area that were laying low creatures that had something to do with the Temple of Lathander, possibly?
There was the adventuring group that you knew Dizan had hired that froze to death on the top of Calvin's cairn. So there was at least one, and there may be others knocking about.
Right. And another thing, just a quick question. You know the lottery?
Yes.
Nair pushed for the lottery, yeah?
He did, yes.
And yeah, I'll look at the sheriff with that sort of, and I'll send a message to him saying, should I mention that it's fixed or not?
The sheriff says, well, under the new evidence, I suggest that we immediately banish the lottery in all of the 10 towns. He says, if nothing else, it'll give the population a bit of hope. But if they find out we're about to run out of food and whale oil, then...
Well, I believe an experiment could be made.
An experiment?
At the next lottery, just don't send the person who's picked out to die. And if oral doesn't kill everyone, then it's a load of shit.
That is true.
But would the council approve of something like this to be done or have been done?
I have never... It's never sat well with me, the human sacrifices. I mean, the normal sacrifices of warmth and food was a carryover from when Oral was just one of the many goddesses worshipped in the north. And I don't know how Neth was so persuasive and managed to persuade all of the towns that the human sacrifices was such a good idea.
Oh, I think I've got an idea.
I mean, we could get to the bottom of it quite quickly as soon as we sort the dwarves out. If you would give us something something from where I come called white card. I'll explain the idea to you later.
sadly, each town, although we sit on a council, it's more of a courtesy than anything else. Each leader leads his own town. We're actually independent towns. So I couldn't give you permission to go around officially and poke your noses in places.
Oh no, absolutely. I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'll give them the I'm in on it when you said officially look. But at the same time, I'm also saying I'm going to pretend that you're telling me I can do it, and then later on I'll be like, but you give us the wink. Wasn't that the nod?
No, I just had dust in my eye. You've just burnt Targos to the ground. What are you talking about?
Targos started it, and now everyone there's warm. Well, we have to go and stop Duergar invasion. So if there's nothing else,
no, that is all we were hoping to do. I mean, legends and rumours abound of magical items and ancient tombs and things like that up here. That is the only way we could obviously think of clearing the pass. We're about to run out of whale oil. We're about to run out of food. We've sent out whalers to the Sea of Moving Ice. Obviously, it's dangerous. One of them reported seeing a ship northeast of Bremen. I don't know what that might be carrying.
We'll check that out on our travels. That's a point. Couldn't we have got that fishing hook identified in one of the many nights we've been out?
Yes, you need stuff identified. Tracy particularly needs this identified. Are you ready to hear a noise off Tracy?
Oh, I love her noises. She makes some great noises.
Right.
That's why we have to keep the windows closed.
Shut up.
Where's your amulet gone, Tracy? I need to click the identify button because you have slept with it now. There you go. Have a look at that bad boy.
Have you put in the party fund? Yeah.
Oh no, it's you've got it.
Yeah.
And I appear to be carrying the hook. I can't remember picking it up, but obviously I am.
Probably stuck in the back of your head where I find fishing hook.
I have to find the fishing hook. It's some weird magical thing that I've never heard of before. Where the hell is it, Andy?
It's in my inventory about halfway down. Oh, late now. Yes. Oh shit! No. Reminders on.
Harvesting kit from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Strangely enough, Howell will be able to sell you one of those.
Awesome. Right. This thing is apparently a hook of Fisher's Delight. Where are we? Now, it's to be on the end of a fishing pole, fishing line, which it is, immersed in enough water to fill at least a 10-foot cube. At the end of each uninterrupted hour of immersion, roll the D6. On the 6th, a floppy 6-inch long magical fish appears on the end of the hook. The colour and properties of said conjured fish are determined by rolling on the Hook of Fisher's Delight table. Once the hook conjures a fish, it can't do so again until the next dawn. Did you want that, Sanwin?
I've never fished in my life.
Well, I'm not sure I have either, but did you want it? Because I'll drag it off if you want it.
No, all yours, mate.
I have found the table of Hook of Fisher's Delight as I have never seen one before, so that's quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, so is there an entry anywhere for a Skinner's kit?
There is not, but I know the 30 GP.
Right, well, hang on.
I'll just add you an item Harvester's kit for now, and then I'll...
Right.
I looked these up the other day because I'm probably using the same rules as you're using because they're fucking brilliant.
Is it the Monster Loot ones?
Yeah, it's really, really, really good. But the only thing is, when you look at the kit, it's like, holy shit, there's like blubber knives and stuff in it.
Items. I'm going to see if there's a Harvester's kit in the items bit for the module. So, Tracy, have you finished enjoying your amulet?
Oh, yeah.
See, there's that noise.
I'll be skipping back to that goblin place again in the near future.
Right, so when you put the amulet on, Tracy, it immediately lights up and points in a line directly at the goblin place.
What's it wear, Rich?
Pretty.
Sorry.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, Andy.
All right, no bother. No bother. I shall put that in the backpack. Oh, shocking. Ooh, not kicking off now, isn't it?
It doesn't tell you. It just says a set of Harvester's tools is 30 GP. I wonder if it's in the items. What's all kicking off?
Political intrigue and Duergar and all sorts.
Things starting to actually make sense of like where they're coming from, and it's all one big tangled web that we weave. Well, not you, but right. Well, what now after the meeting finishes?
Well, I think we'll head to the pub, stay the night. In the morning, we're off to fight a war with some dwarves.
Taking Bob with you?
Oh, yeah.
Tracy's amulet sort of going bleep, bleep, and pointing to Cockalook.
I mean, Cockalook isn't on our way to a war, is it?
After the Duergar thing, right, yous have got to let us wear me knickers on the outside of me gear and march into that place in that golem and help that bloke out, because I'm there to in defence of the people and get rid of this evil man.
hawk that block out.
Yeah.
Andy, I'll say £5 because
Right, yep.
it just says 30 GP, but there's saws and all sorts of there.
Aye, no bother. I shall just add £5 in weight to my inventory.
I've put you an item in there, so I should be able to just add it. Hang on. Right, so you're spending a night in the inn, is that correct?
Yep, there we go.
We've done it. Oh, I haven't given you a £10.
Oh, we need a rumour.
A rumour in ages, have I?
We'll be a bit careful tonight because I feel we may get a bit assassinated soon.
Yeah, so we'll be sleeping with one eye open and all that.
Oh, wow, you keep getting rumours that are like dead handy for things.
Can I put me layman's tiny hut up in my bedroom? So if any fucker breaks into the bedroom on a night to come and kill us,
I'm going to say...
in for a big surprise.
I'm going to say yes. So the rumour you hear, like I said, you just keep getting the rumours. Frost giants ruled this land long ago. Their leaders, the Jarls, would meet atop a hill to the west to settle disputes. Their thrones still rest upon that hill. That is your rumour. Hi, I'll be your rumour for the day. You've also heard the rumour of the ship that's directly northwest of Bremen, and I think that's pretty much else. I have mentioned other stuff, but it's just what I usually do, where I mention things in passing and then you don't remember it for like 10 episodes. But yeah, basically your nana would know where the location of that is.
Well, what we could do is go kill some dwarves because they're going to attack soon, so we kind of have them off the path. And then go and see Yagani, and then go and find a horn, go and get the horn, then go and sort the ship out. Or and in the meantime, and pick up a battle mech, whatever one of those is. I assume it's some no.
And then are we allowed to swing by Targos and burn it to the ground?
Oh, well, if we're going for a ship, we've got to pass around Targos, so we're going to walk around the walls.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're just going this way. Would you like to try and stop us? Although I have a feeling we're going to end up imprisoned by this guy. He's a dick.
There's definitely something about him.
Well, I do know a method to deal with people like that. Like I said, where I come from, I just say challenge me honour and ask them to come outside for a chat. But that's neither here nor there. Let us ambulate towards our next destination.
Can I just interject, right? Obviously, that guy, North, is it his name is, or whatever it is, brought about the sacrifices and all that for Oral and that. Has this Oral got a magic fanny or something?
Perhaps. Silence as everybody contemplates Oral's magic fanny.
I heard like fridge.
Oh,
boom, Dave.
What did you say to me?
it's frigid.
Right, I'm going to dump that onto me little bar there for me artwork. Right, so are you just spending some gold? Actually, you don't have to spend gold. The speaker in a gesture of goodwill will pay for your bed and breakfast for the night, and even for a bath, which now you know that they've only got 4 months worth of whale oil left.
It's an extravagance.
Yeah, and I, under the circumstances, I shall decline the bath.
Well, no, we'll just share one. You can sit at one end, I'll sit at the other end.
And just presto, well,
It's
clean
not the
and save on the whale oil for anyone else who's more needy. I'm quite happy to go without a bath and just clean myself my own way.
Right, I'm going to advance the calendar once more.
Pit slits and tips.
What time of day is it, Rich, roughly now?
Well, you spent 8 hours travelling, so it was sort of tea time-ish. You've been to see Howell and his Air Bunny's mushrooms, his alchemical mushrooms.
I'm just wondering if they have like a thing similar to a library where I could maybe try and do a bit of research to try and narrow down where these, the rumours for the giants and stuff were.
That's like a tale of your people. They wouldn't have anything around here. The nearest library is in East Haven. It has a little library I discovered. So you spend a pleasant evening bathing together, no judgment from me, and then head out, yeah?
Yeah.
So what route do you want to take, Andy? First of all, we'll do your animal handling roll to see if you get a bonus. So if you want to guidance him and do help and what have you, now's the time.
Yeah, help.
Remember, if you travel the roads, you get 5 miles an hour.
Right. Oh, champion top.
A 15, so you get an extra mile at the end of the day, basically over the course of the day.
Right,
Nice
so we're heading for this Jogar place, aren't we?
Yep.
Right, well, if we go down the road...
We need to pull up short, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, how far do I get to go?
10 miles, that's 2 hours travel. And then you get, if you're going off-road at that point, you get 3 miles travel. And then you have to rest for 2 hours, 3 hours with the dogs, and then you get further to, 6 miles. So you do 15 in total. Yeah, so you get to there, then you have a rest.
Yep.
And then you have a 3 hour kip, and then you get to move another 6 miles, and then finally an extra mile on the end for your awesome sledding skills.
All right, that puts we're about there.
Yes, so I guess you don't need to make camping rolls anymore, as Tracy can summon food and Tracy can summon shelter, unless you want to cook something different, Andy, just to say you have. As you
That's all right. Oh, by the way, as far as the spice kit's concerned, I've paid for and bought a herbalism kit just because there obviously is no such thing as a kit of spices.
Yes. Is this all to do with the Bovril plant? I don't even want to know what is.
Well, it's like if the food that Ayrshire can produce is a bit bland, I'll just spice it up with a few spices and turn some of it into curries and things. And I presume it's like the sort of medievally equivalent of, you know, them things you find in Indian kitchens, like that big round dish with lots of dishes in.
Yes.
That it looks a bit like one of them.
I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. Right, so you spend a pleasant evening, even if there wasn't any encounters, they can't see you under the snow, because Tracy can just make it white. You spend a pleasant evening and nothing can hurt you. So, again, you can push on, Andy. You can do 15 miles in total, depending on your animal handling roll.
Right. Can I just draw something on the map first? Because I have an idea. We can either go that way, or we could go up over the mountain that way, and presuming that they are there, catch them by coming in the back door.
Yeah,
That's a good
Going over the mountain is dangerous, so if you roll a 1, there's a chance you fall off the mountain. Or wreck the sled or whatever, and you only move at 2 miles per hour over mountain-type mountains. So it's up to you.
Not forgetting avalanche.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to run it past the party first. Or do I just drive up the front door?
Well, I trust you, so if you want to try something mad, I'm behind it.
Madder the better.
Remember, sandwich.
Yes,
Wow.
you've already had a baby avalanche that you met.
Oh, yeah, let's avoid the avalanche.
Yeah, there's avalanches, there's Yetis, there's...
Alternatively, is this a possible route?
No, you've got to go all the way around.
Right.
It says in the description. It might look like it's a bit lower mountain, but it says in the description you either have to cut across the mountains or go around the valley. So it may just be a case of the map not being perfect.
Right. Well,
I'm just gonna rub that out. Oh, that was cool. They've changed the rubber. Yeah.
The trouble is now I've got it on erasure mode and it won't let me rub it out.
Just click erasure mode again and it undoes it.
Oh, and Andy, just give it a good rub.
Yeah, it does look like there's a back way in there, but no, you've got to go across the mountains all round the valley, as per the description.
Well, I will be guided by the party as to which direction to go, and then I'll drive the sled.
See, this is where we need to spend all the bennies and have a massive, unstable snowdrift on the top, which could collapse down in on top of them.
That would be a very good use, Benny.
I have every faith in you, Corin. Your awesome skills.
Oh, do it the dangerous way. Come on, this will be the way I get myself killed this week. Come on, do it.
Right, okay then. Well, what we'll do then is
I'll guide you, Chef, don't worry.
if we take the sled to there and we can sort of hide it in the trees and then just go straight up over the top and down along that ridge line and in through the back door.
So you're going to park the sled there and go over the mountain on foot.
Yeah, I'm going to need to roll, aren't I? On the way out. All right, yeah.
Not if you're parking the sled and leaving it there. Yes.
And then if we go straight up the mountain, kind of along the spine that runs directly north-south, and hopefully, from the description you gave us, the place we're going is sort of faces south on that, so we should sneak up to their back door.
Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to name this link. I'm going to make it shareable. I'm going to name this link sled because you're leaving the sled and you're hiding the sled in the trees. Are you leaving Bob there? With the
yes,
sled?
as long as Ayrshire has no problem with that.
Yeah, I think we're better.
Right, so I've put a little shareable link there where you hide the sled in those trees, right?
Oh, hang on. That'll be the hospital. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Right, so in that case, can I have athletics rolls from everybody? I'll just do your ascent. And a DC 10 athletics roll to get over the...
You will get a bonus having mountain climbing.
Yeah, you can have advantage. I won't make Andy roll because he's AFK at the moment. So there you go. So if you have a climbing kit, hold down control when you roll it and it'll roll with advantage. At least it should.
Oh.
Ayrshire gets a 28. Is there any need for a 28, Gracie?
I drag everybody up on.
Yeah, well,
behind
it's a group test, okay? So basically, you need more people to succeed than fail. And at one point, you're climbing across a ledge. Lantesh slips and falls and literally grabs on the ledge and she's hanging by her hands. But luckily, Ayrshire, with his enormous survival athletic skills, just literally grabs her by the collar and lifts her up one-handed. And that is the only problem that you suffer.
I just squat down and wear my kilt and go, hold on.
You... I gotcha. And right, over mountain on foot is half a mile an hour, so that takes you 6 hours to yomp over the top of those mountains. And Tracy had rolled a 1, but it was a group task, so Aisha caught her as she was just about to fall off the top of the mountain, and you will see why. You come into the valley where the thing is marked on the map. Sadly, there isn't a back door, as I will show you. So as you come around the mountain, beyond the snowy foothills, low-lying clouds obscure the icy peaks of the gargantuan mountains that form the spine of the world. Eventually, you get above the clouds and behold a sheer mountain wall rising more than 100 feet before you. Carved high on the wall are rows of arrow slits with lights burning behind them and clanking sounds issue from them. A narrow staircase hewn from the rock leads up along one side of the wall. The stairs lead up are barely 5 feet wide and climb 150 feet to a frost-covered shelf that adjoins the main entrance.
Well, I would stand out in full plain view and then kite them round the place while you mess around with an invisible guy.
Were you above?
No, you had... If you had to come over the mountains, right, and then you had to climb up towards the tall peak. Yeah, well, it's not exactly where you thought it was going to be. So how do you approach? You're on foot.
Well, we're going to stop for a minute and have a look and see where the points of ingress is. You said there was a main gate?
There is a main gate, yes. It leads...
I assume it's closed.
It is, and in addition, it has a massive portcullis held down. The bars of the portcullis are almost 12 inches thick. It's like a massive armoured creation. Aha, there you are. Why? Do you know how to run a module, Andy? Name the level, what it is, and then make sure it's identified, so as soon as you share it to the players, it tells them where they are. I've just unidentified them because that is silly.
You've got those two sort of vertical towers. In between them, there seems to be a thing at the top that looks like, I don't know, it looks a bit like a belt buckle with a bit down the middle.
Yeah.
What's that?
That is 2 enormous stone iron gates, hundreds of feet across.
In the roof.
The roof.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
They've got lasers, haven't they?
Or dragons with lasers.
Or lasers with dragons, that's even worse.
Or mine is.
So
there's got to be a way in. So I think we need to send someone sneaky out, look around to see if there's a way in that we can't see.
What I'm going to do is drop your guys on the map. Right, you've come up this path because you've had to cross the frozen clouds.
Rich, can I send me owl on reconnaissance to have a little...
You absolutely can, because you can move your owl now. Nothing ever bad happens to people sending their owls. Trust me, I'm your DM. I'm going to remove Bob. He's with the slit. I think everybody is on. Are you prepared for this wonderful, wonderful map?
I was
that you can see the clouds. So if you were to fall off, you would fall hundreds of feet, possibly to your doom.
No, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, won't be doing the falling off thing.
So you're crouching around the corner. You can see there's an arrow slit ahead. Okay, 2 gigantic dots.
I've got a plan. I know of a secret dwarven work song, right? And we could return as if we were dwarves going from a day in the mine.
Are you flying that owl up to the arrow slit? Are you flying it in the arrow slit?
Like, not in the arrow slit, but like around the top. Just I want to have a closer look to see what those doors are and whatnot. But
so there's 2.
No, the last time I put something in an arrow slit, it died.
So your owl goes and has a look, okay? It flutters up against the arrow slit. Looking into the room, can you actually see from your token, from the owl token, if you click on it, you should be able to. The room is heated and illuminated by braziers of glowing hot coals. Visible in the centre of the room is an iron lever and a heavy iron winch. The owl flutters up. Can you see inside the room though, Tracy?
No. All I can see is it looks like there's a corridor ahead with like pitted little area, like window things, like to the south.
Yeah, that's right. You're looking through
the bottom of something square, just the very bottom of something square to the north of them.
Yep, that's it. That's what you can see because you're looking through an arrow slit.
All right, okay.
And just the bottom of a door facing eastward. So Dave moves his back.
And what was you said? Andy mentioned something about the 2 doors or something in the roof. What's those?
They are hundreds of feet up.
Can I fly me owl up to have a closer inspection up.
Yeah, you fly up to the roof, and what you see is two enormous, they look like made of metal because they're pitted, and there's two mechanisms either side which lead into the fortress, which is presumably the winching mechanism to open it. It doesn't appear to be any kind of entrance on the very top other than those two gigantic doors.
Right, bring me owl back and relay this information to the party.
Right, so as the owl comes back down, there's a grinding noise, and those doors open, and the portcullis begins to grind upwards.
Oh shit.
I suggest we run away.
And what you see is out comes a Duergar. You recognise them now, but he's looking up at the portcullis at the doors. He doesn't initially see you, and those that can understand Dwarvish, you can understand him going, "What the bloody hell's wrong with the mechanism now?" And he's not looking at you, he's looking away.
All right, okay.
How far
But
away?
it looks like he could see you at any second.
I cast whole person on him.
Dive into the wall. What you see where the wall pits down at the bottom.
Hold on a sec, hold on. I'm going to add this random Duergar guy. Right, he's not invisible. He's come out and he's sort of halfway out the door, and he's looking up, going, and he's cursing and swearing himself in common. He hasn't seen you yet. So, what do you want to do? You hold person and Bracey.
Yeah.
Very good. Go for it. He succeeds.
Shite.
So he notices and turns around. I guess we're going to initiative.
Oh, you do surprise. Here we go again.
Can we please not pull the entire dwarf fortress at once? Because yes, while I can put the entire fortress on the combat tracker, I would prefer not to. Right, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm rolling for initiative. Select all PCs. Roll initiative. He gets a 12. Awesome. So first up, he's caught by surprise. He just seems to be examining the portcullis in the door as if it hasn't worked properly. First up, you have Corin.
I'll say quickly and quietly.
Well, kill him.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I only need asking the once. Right, well, here we go. Oh, is my... What's its name on Rich?
Your what's its name?
Yeah, you know that...
If you click your effects button, yeah, your Colossus Layer's on. Obviously, your
right.
Hunter's Mark isn't because you had a long rest.
Right, so I need to put that on me.
Tosser's Mark, yes.
Oh, hang on. I should have targeted myself first, sorry.
No, it's self. It's fine. It's gone on.
Oh, is it?
If it's got brat itself, it automatically casts any self.
Ah, got you. Right, so I need to put the other one on him.
You do. A white splodge appears upon the Duergar's head.
And he goes, ew.
Ooh, it's sticky.
Yes, and now I get to put an apple in him. Hopefully, not with a shot like that.
But you do have multi-attack now, I believe, sir.
I do, so I shall fire again.
You'll give it what for?
Oh, you're joking.
2 arrows, ping, off the Duergar.
Yeah, and I'm just going to shuffle back towards that bit of rock wall.
That makes sense. Looking slightly embarrassed. Good job you got cold weather clothing on there.
Yes.
So like I said to everybody, when you finish your turn, you can hit the next actor button on the bottom of the combat tracker, and then that will move it on to the next person. Because I've been hitting next actor, but there you go.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, next up we have Aisha.
I go first again.
You go for it, son. He fails. You can apply the effect, and he goes and freezes. The Duergar freezes. 2 spells down already.
Yep.
Lovely.
Go. And then I move.
See, you're so uber as shit now. Proud of you. 2 whole persons used. Tick that one off. So you move to there.
Yep.
Okay. And then, are you finished your turn? Or are you doing something else?
Actually, I'll move a little bit.
Move just a little bit closer, baby.
And I'm drawing my shield and my armor.
Okay, you do that. And then you can just hit your next turn when I complete. Alantesh. The Duergar stands frozen, looking surprised, partially turned around. Next to an a cliff face that is so tall it is above the clouds.
Walk him off it.
I'm going to just use firebolt because obviously there's no great urgency to kill him. If I'm going to try and keep my spells for whatever else is in there.
I'm just going to grab him. I'm just going to grab him and throw him over the edge of the chasm.
Because presumably, if he's held and you pick him up and
you
chuck
get
him
advantage,
off,
yeah, pretty much.
and he can't scream.
Yeah, but he does get to go next. So are you firing? Lantesh does the pew-pews with the fires. Look at that, double misses. Wow.
And can I get me, because he's immobile and can't attack me owl, can I get me owl to do a swoop attack on him?
It will do on the owl's turn, yeah.
Right, okay.
Next up is the Duergar who can't act. However, he might
finish
save.
turn. Where the hell's that again?
It's on the bottom of the combat tracker, but I've done it right. I'm going to make a save and throw for the Duergar. Right. Bracey, can you... actually, because the easiest way to do it is to just drag the saving throw on him again, because it hasn't done it automatically.
Okay.
If you can drop the saving throw on him. Sure, your saving throw should be higher than that, though. He succeeds and he unfreezes, but it's already had his turn. Bien, it is your turn.
I can't pass.
Right, I know people are trying to move early, but I'm confused as to whose move is who. Is that your move next to Lantesh, Dave?
Yes, I can't pass.
Right, you can, but you can move throughout, but it costs 10 feet of movement to move through. Have you already moved? Right, he's not held anymore.
Pass up.
Which is loud and explosion-y, I want you to know that.
What is fireball?
It's not as loud, because it says chromatic orb explodes, doesn't it?
Huh?
In the description. Well, I think you should go for it. That's just me. I know. I guess if you're not using thunder, you'd be alright. So you're casting chromatic orb. It's completely undamaged at this point. Israel goes, fireball! But you're all on that. I didn't ask how wide the ledge was. Oh, yeah, go on. I'll let you cast, Dave. It's a hit. Right, I'll do damage. You hit. He looks heavily injured as he's burned and goes, Right, so what do you do now then?
That's my which thing at the bottom right on left.
Dragon head.
Yeah, the little dragon head thing. Sandman, you have moved forward.
Chromatic orb.
Chromatic orb, interesting choice. Go ahead.
Oh.
Not with those rolls, my friend. Not with those rolls.
I'll move right next to it.
Okay.
I'll say it in Dwarven one more word, and you will pitch off the mouth. Shut your mouth, be quiet, and you'll live.
Okay. You intimidate him.
Oh, I wanted to wait him, but yes, I'll
That's
do
not persuasion. That's an intimidation.
I know it is.
You're like,
but,
persuasion is, look, don't cause the alarm, and I'll give you this cupcake. Have you heard of Bovril?
Yeah, I've got Bovril, but I've walked into his melee range.
Okay. So you walk into his melee range. Next up we have... Are you finished your turn? Next up we have Bat, Dave.
I'm back.
Right, okay. There, because Bat's got blind sight. Bat's turn, Dave. Okay, and then hit your... You can't end the turn for him, can you? Right, go on. Owl is next, Tracy.
Right. Just looking at its attack things again. In a minute, I've got to highlight him, haven't I? Is that him highlighted? It didn't feel like it is.
Yeah, you've got the little yellow target. That Duergar has a bound hair lip.
All right, okay. And just get me...
Right, so you need to...
Owl to fly back over to where it is now.
It's got 60 feet, so there and then back.
And then back, yeah.
Okay, got you. It's the owl's turn.
Yep.
So now it is Corrin once more.
Right.
He's heavily injured.
Well, I suppose I shall have to move there. Right, hang on. I just need to check something very quick. No, I'm not going to do it. It's all right. Right, let's send another arrow his way then.
Or two.
You
hit the Duergar with the hair lip. Boom, baby. Arrow straight into his throat. And he slumps to the ground. Although when he slumps to the ground, you discover it is, in fact, a female. They look very similar.
Well, quick, toss her off the cliff.
Hang on, give her a quick search. She might have some keys or something.
Right, yes, searching the Duergar, she doesn't have keys. She's just got the standard Duergar male coat, war pick, and she disappears over the top of the mountain quite quickly. And
Wee, splat.
you're out of combat. What do you do?
Sidle up to the door and have a peek.
Yeah, go for it. So stepping forward to the door, you can see there's the giant portcullis that has been raised, and the Duergar seemed somewhat confused as to why that would happen.
I very quickly peek around the door. Can I see any of the Duergar in there?
You cannot see any Duergar at all. You can see what you can see as you look into the room, which may have been not very much because you got pretty bad sight, haven't you? So in that room, beyond the portcullis, is an empty room with a narrow opening in the far end and an arrow slit in the western wall. Now that the door's open, it feels nice and warm inside, and the interior is lit with small red braziers. So it's not dark, it's just dim. Dave's bat flies inside, just next to the portcullis.
Back on arrows.
Davey, I can't hear you. No, you're really quiet.
How's it?
That's better.
I must have knocked my mic up.
Okay, so Dave's bat reports this. So come on, what are you doing? If you just stand and stare at the gigantic dwarven fortress, we're going to be here all night.
I'll motion to the... we need to make sure they can't lock us in here, so is there any way to spike the doors?
No. The walls are featureless and smooth, but there's no cracks and there's no places you could wedge anything. Yeah, I've opened the portcullis for you, so you should be able to move past it now. So the two quietest members of the party, Aisha and Bjorn, head inside. All right then, guys. I know it's scary, but you can do it. Just tell us what you're doing, Dave. Describe it. Don't just move your bat.
I stealth in.
That would be good for a laugh.
Real shirt.
Have you? Oh, well, that's okay then. Hidden and stealth. First roll, Dave. So Dave creeps in and peeks inside, and what you can see is that those two passageways goes into one tunnel, and apparently to the west it looks like there's a double door. There's also an arrow slit to the west, and what your bat can see is a bunch of doors, 2 or 3 doors, all close together along the western wall of a room.
I make hand gestures.
I'll wave back.
Any particular one?
And that's disgusting.
Yeah, I wonder why Ben's giving us the finger.
Right, hang on, right. I might as well stealth inside.
I'm going to attempt
Okay.
to stop inside.
You're stealthing as well, Aisha.
I am trying
I'll
to.
try.
Hold on then. Let's give me some. Right. Corin begins to sneak inside.
To go there. Pick him up.
Aisha also attempts to sneak.
I will also sneak, because I am a sneaky sneaker.
Yeah, so we just have a party sneak then, yeah? Select all PCs, hidden, stealth.
Can I get advantage on that because I'm using the stealth song?
Where you sing heavy metal songs really loudly.
No,
Yeah?
no.
Then I'll just take a party, a number of successes, depending on.
Dun, dun.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
So you creep into the room. I know it's terrifying, and you're looking at the battle map, but instead of doing the battle map, we go to the battle map when you're fighting things. So just tell me what you do.
Sneak forward and look down both of those corridors, either side of that.
So as you peep down the corridor, this is what you can see. A pair of double doors to the west, and what looks like a T-junction to the east. Corridor continues on.
I'll go and listen at those doors.
I'll go with Sanwin, because you know what happens when he goes off on his own.
Yeah, I'll move with him.
I use like my minders in case I fall in soup and drown again.
Right, so you listen at the door, Sandman, and you still have a penalty, but you rolled well. You can hear snoring and some mumbling in Dwarvish from the other side of the room, but it's very faint, as if
Mumbling
it's not,
as in-
as if it's not maybe talking, as if it's not exactly on the other side of the door.
Is the door locked?
No, the door is very slightly ajar. It looks like that dwarf that came through here.
I'll peer in through the door, but I'll do it down at knee height rather than head height. So I'd
So
be
dwarf
at
height.
about dwarf height.
Right, so you look into the room. A low stone table flanked by stone benches dominates this room, which is heated and illuminated by braziers of glowing hot coals. Through hazy smoke, you see featureless stone doors lining the walls, and you hear this. I'll just move you inside so you can see all of the thing. From behind the stone doors, several of them have snoring coming from them.
Doors open inwards or outwards?
Inwards.
Yeah.
You don't seem to have alerted anyone, as nobody rushes out and stabs you in the face.
I'll pull back up the door and I'll use message to tell Lantesh to pass the word that there's a load of sleeping dwarves in individual rooms in there.
You can see down the eastern corridor, a crossroads, and the corridor continues to the east. Sanwin uses message to inform everybody that there's a bunch of dwarf snoring noises coming from the other side.
Well, we can either kill them in their sleep,
Kill them in their sleep.
This might not be the time to ask, but what are we actually intending to do in here?
Well, there's going to be an invasion. We're here to get rid
Kill
of
every single one of them.
Well, yeah. So, shall we start?
I'm going to move my back towards these this junction, and it'll hide on the ceiling.
Oh, good plan.
Right, as your butt heads up, you can see into the room. The room to the south where you could see through the arrow slit, but there's 2 double doors to the north here.
I will relay this party quite.
Oh,
And I can see your blind sight on the map because it's got like a weird bluey grey
That
thing.
is cool as shit. I'll go along and listen to that door, Rick.
Listen to which door?
The one he's just told us
Yeah,
about.
the double doors. The double doors don't appear to be locked because there's no handles or anything. And you need me a persecution roll, don't you?
I'm great at persecution.
Listening at the door, you press your ear to it and you do not hear anything.
Well, that room's obviously empty. Is the door closed?
Close, yes.
I'll do what I did before. I'll
So
I'll stoop down and slowly push.
You slowly push it open. Inside, this rectangular room has 2 sets of double doors, one to the north and the one you're looking through. A brazier of glowing hot coals stands in each corner. In the middle of the room is a low stone table, and on top of which is drawn an illustration that looks something like a map.
Ooh! I will go and carefully sneak up to the map and have a look.
So stepping forward, pushing the other door open, stepping forward, you can see there's like a black token which you recognise as Shardlin, like a little circular dot, and there is a map of 10 towns, and the 10 towns are connected by arrows. The first arrow comes from Sunblight and goes to Dugan's Hole, and then the second one, the arrow follows around and goes so it intersects each of the 10 towns.
So the attack is going to come from here and head to Dugan's Hall and then do a roundabout. What's its last target?
I'm trying to find the map, which I definitely have somewhere.
Probably Targus.
I wonder, in all honesty, if it's worth taking the information and legging it, because if we can catch them in the open when they're on like route to march and take them out on our terms.
Thing is, they'll probably know that we've taken the map and the plans and they'll change them.
Well, no, we don't have to take the map, but if we can like make a quick sketch of it so we know what directions they're coming from. At the minute, all they've lost is there's one Jewagar unaccounted for, and
Obviously, she went outside to have a piss and fell off.
yeah, and no evidence yet that we'd been here. And then we could run round the 10 towns and jay everybody up to let them know what order they're getting attacked in, though we might not bother telling Targos.
I don't think it would work simply because Dugar are a trained army in 10 towns, don't have much in the way of a military force, and there's not that much in the way of defences either. So the Dugar wouldn't have the element of prize, but they would still have the element of equipment and numbers. So probably better trying to cut them off by the balls here, and if it comes to that, retreat and see if we've got what damage we can do here before we retreat back and warn people they're coming.
Fair enough.
Not a terrible idea.
But I'm up for killing them all.
It's just being rangery. I prefer to fight out in the open.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I reckon heading back to the towns and because we've got those black sword people. Well,
yeah, but we're not quite. They would be on our side.
We'll be if they find out they're going to get attacked by a load of.
Trust them not. There's definitely a rabbit.
So, are you communicating this with sending, Earl?
Yeah, well, with
right. So the arrows go from here to Dugan's Hole, then to Goodmead, then to East Haven, then to Caer Dineval, then Caer Koenig, then Tourmaline, then Lonelywood, then Bremen, then Targos, then Bryn Shander.
I've got an idea. We could, like I said, go and warn the town. We sabotage that drop gate thing so it stays closed, damn it, so they can't open it by time.
Oh no, I mean the dwarves, they'll just melt the half. I think we should keep going and look around and see what we can find, and then find a place to hold them off.
So there isn't a way to bar the doors shut behind you or wedge them, because the dwarven stonework is outstanding. It is, however, there's no decoration or any kind of non-functional. Everything is functional to the extreme.
Right.
So you've got the doors ahead, the doors full of dwarves, and the room to the south.
I'm going to sneak down to the edge of the room down south, out there, see what I can see.
Okay. Again, heated and illuminated by braziers. A floor-to-ceiling iron cage in the middle of the room contains an elevator shaft with chains running up and down from it. Chains are in constant motion. You hear loud mechanical noises higher up the shaft and farther down as well. A double door is embedded in the middle of the east wall, and air enters the room through a row or arrow slits in the south wall.
Did somebody write down the order that the town's getting?
Well, my character will remember.
I assume you'll make a sketch. I can tell you I will get the map if we need it for next time. I can't believe there isn't just a link to the image. Very lazy.
Full of mountains. Right, listen to this door.
You creep forward to this door and you listen to it. Oops, I didn't hide that, but that's fine. You do not hear anything behind the door.
Right, I'll message for everyone to move up because we're too spread out.
Hang on.
Where do you guys want to move to?
Where's my ruddy candle gone?
Your candle?
Aye.
You don't need a candle because there's braziers. There's like a low light everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So you should be able to see. Can you see?
No, I can see where we've been, but now I appear to be. I'm trying to follow Sandman, and all I've got is like the light from me candle, and the wall seems to stop.
All right, because you haven't got very much sight.
I shall move.
Do you? If you want to light a torch or a candle, you just whip it.
So I'll go into the room with.
Okay.
Send my back to the other end of our door. See what's there.
All right.
That's better. Sorry, I forgot about doing it that way.
Everything seems fine. Dave sends his bat along to the corridor.
Yeah, but I've seen.
You seem to have disappeared.
Yeah, I'm not my token.
That's right, because your bat cannot see your token. If you click on yourself, so there's the double doors to the north of Open Alley, but there's more double doors north of that. Aisha and Lantesh, what are you doing?
I can't click on myself.
Following the rest of the party, keeping close to them.
Well, they seem to be running in all directions unusually. So do you want to head towards Salmon, head towards Corrin?
I'll go towards where Sanwin is, just to make sure he doesn't get himself in hot bother.
Right, so you head into the southern room here. I need a skill check off you, well, please.
I still can't click on myself. How do I...
Try clicking on yourself in the combat tracker.
You should move your back then. Can you see yourself now?
Yeah.
Right, so Tracy's coming, Earl. People are running in and out of the room. Some stealth attack this has turned out to be.
It'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right, this door, I will put my hand against it and see if it's open or if it's locked. because I assume they're like counterbalance doors, so they don't require like
you push them and they just slide almost silently up.
Right. If it's not locked, I'll do what I did before. I'll duck down to dwarf head height, using Ben as a reference, and pop my head round the corner.
Right, you push it open, and what appears to be an office stands before you. A stone desk and chair stand empty on the east side of the room. The brazier normally heat and light the room have been extinguished. An arrow slit in the south wall lets the frigid mountain air in.
I'm going to go and have a look around this office.
Yeah, there appears to be nothing in there.
I'm just moving so I can see. So I think
Let's
I walked
move out
through a
your
wall.
way.
Yeah, I think I tried to walk through.
Yeah.
Right, got you. So that's a dead end. I'll look at Lantesh and point at the lift, and like, is the cogs whirling round on the lift and stuff?
Yeah.
I'll point at the cogs and like saying a message. Is this interview pipes?
It is indeed. But it doesn't look like there's an entrance on this level. It just looks like it travels through the level.
So the lift will go to another level then.
Right, well, if there's no stop here, let's head out again and back into the main corridor. And have we checked the far right along this corridor?
Everybody starts piling out the door. Bracy, you see what appears to be something. You see that somebody's breath freeze in the corner. Everybody else has just walked right past it, completely.
Whereabouts in which corner?
Is there any chance I can take a cog out of the lift to stop anybody?
No. It's just a cage that leads floor to ceiling with the chains running down the inside. In the southwestern corner
Of the room?
of the southern room that everybody else has run into and completely filled. Next to the arrow slit in the southwestern corner.
Right. I'm going to walk down and I'm going to say I'm just going to look out the slit straight to the south to make sure we haven't been followed.
Dave, your bat sees a Duergar in the corner.
And then when I get close, I'm basically going to turn and charge the Duergar and pin him to the wall.
You still be at disadvantage because he's invisible to you, but Dave can see him. That's why I've unhidden him. Okay, so you will be at disadvantage. So you charge him and you're doing what? You're doing a grapple attack. Okay, go for it. So it's just suddenly bellows quietly and then charges at something in the corner. Hold down Alt and then do that grapple attack.
I shall move to the side so that I can still take the shot.
Right, you can apply grapple as you both rolled shit, like literally a 1 and a 2. Right, the dwarf is surprised as you grab hold of him.
No!
He goes, wait, Drek friend.
Is he speaking in common or dwarvish?
He's speaking in bad common.
Why should we believe you?
Drek, open gate, let you in.
So we'll ask them about this act coming, how they're going to carry it out.
Very soon.
When?
Grandolpha, she knows everything. She sent me to get you.
Who?
Grandolpha, the boss lady.
Boss lady of what?
Of our clan. I'll take you to her. She's just along the corridor.
Okay.
Polly.
Right, I disarm him.
He lets you. He doesn't struggle, as you haven't grabbed anyway.
Pull both arms off at the same time. Don't do them one at a time because it won't scream twice. Or different type of disarm.
Can I tie a bit of rope around his waist and hold on to it so he can't run off?
Sure.
I'll do that.
He's like, Drek number 1, okay. I'm not going to run off. Drek, let you in. And you do see in this room there is a lever that apparently controls portcullis.
I'll lean in, sir. I thought the door was already open when the other dwarf came out.
Yeah. Who do you think opened it? Big dummy. It's like, you be quiet. Others asleep along the corridor. Quick.
All right, I'll push him in front. Lead on.
Okay, so he leads you up to the corridor, T-junction. Is everybody following?
Yeah.
Yeah. He leads you a short direction to the corridor to these double doors here. And he says, Grandolpha, she's waiting in there for you.
Let him go in first.
Lag as people are trying to move. Right, so as you get opposite, you see in the south wall, there is a short hallway that ends in a portcullis, and there's a lever in the wall to the side. And when you look on the other side of the portcullis, there's a ginormous shaft that leads up and down into the darkness.
I'll turn around to the little guy and go, what's that?
A shaft down to forge level and up the roof.
What's on the roof?
Big gates.
For what?
The weapon.
Oh.
So he opens these doors and steps inside with his hands up, Bracy just behind him. 3 braziers heat with glowing hot coals illuminate and heat this long hall. At the eastern end is a hexagonal stone table surrounded by 6 stone chairs. Seated in the chair facing the door is a haggard old Duergar with long hair streaked with ribbons of white and fingernails like shards of iron. She's devouring a hearty buffet of cooked meats, mushrooms, and strange underdark fare. Next to her is a small mechanical dragon. Hunched over a hot stove in the west side of the room are 3 Duergar cooks. At the sight of you, they drop their utensils and reach for their weapons, but the old Duergar says something in Dwarvish that keeps them in bay. She speaks in accents of common. Come in, have something to eat. It's delicious.
What did they in Dwarven?
She basically said, put the weapons down. So they immediately think, everybody is trying to move, and my screen is just freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch me character. I'm going to walk over, sit down in a chair, and start eating, and go, "Thank you for your hospitality." And then I'll pull out some salt and salt the food slightly, and off old hers.
She a bit like Marlon Brando in The Godfather. She makes an indicating gesture. Please sit down. It's a dining room with plenty of spaces. The cooks will bring you over. There's a pot of a strange frothy black beer and a large steak with some like mushrooms and things down the side. But the steak doesn't look like it's meat. And she takes a bite and she says, "I'm Grand Alpha. I'm leader of the Musgat clan. I've had my men out hoping to contact you."
Hail and well met, Grand Alpha.
She says, would you like to try some of our delicious beer? And the steak, obviously.
Oh, yes, certainly. Is this some sort of mushroom?
It is. It's a giant mushroom sliced across and then fried.
Can I think to myself, do I recognize this type of mushroom? Does anyone in my head recognize what type of mushroom this is?
Yeah, the guy who looks a bit like Dean Stockwell leans over and goes, "That's fascinating. That must come down from deep down. Do you see the pattern in there? That's only indicated from an oxygen taken from a cave hundreds of miles beneath the surface."
What's the genus name of it? And I'll say, blah, 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 blah.
She says, I see you know our mushrooms. Please, does anybody else care for some? The main course is coming. It's boiled intellect devourer. It's quite zesty.
Remember where I'm from. I literally eat anything.
Oh, yeah. Do we have an encounter? Oh, we do have an encounter. Well,
and he looks around for slices of bread to eat.
Just delete that. And these guys should be on the map. What a handsome young lady she is. She says, "Please eat. It is the custom of my people to share food before we parley."
I'll have a bite and drink.
So you take a bite of the mushroom, and it's strangely chewy, and you have to chew it quite a lot. And it's a little bit bitter, but it's not unpleasant.
Did she let me salt her food?
Yes.
That's fine.
Anybody else? Because everybody else has just gone quiet. Was Andy already on his third helping? Is that what's going on? Intellect devourer, you say?
Sorry, I had my mouth full of mushroom.
I'll abstain from the intellect devourer, but I'll have a little bit mushroom.
And you taste the beers, perhaps?
Yep.
I can't find Lantesh's talking anymore.
I'm definitely there. I'm right next to Salmon.
There we
are. So she sits and she eats and she chews slowly and with great gusto. And the beer and the mushroom is not unpleasant, like I said. The intellect devourer is something else. Salmon quite enjoys it, and I'm sure Corin is prepared to have a go, but I don't know how the rest of you feel about it. Intellect devourer is basically a giant brain with 4 legs.
I'll try a little bit, and then I shall whip out my spice kit, rummage around inside, and then sprinkle a little bit of something on it.
Oh, I'll try a bit with the something on and see if I know which one's better. Then I'm literally just filling my boots here. This is amazing.
Not a problem, Sandwin.
So I'll
be like, this is delicious.
She lets out a burp, and like I said, she's got that Marlon Brando. She's like, "I'm sure you're wondering what's going on."
Well, we tend to stumble through life wondering what people are up to and find out invariably at some point we either help them or they try to kill us. So really, I just want to know, are we going to be doing the helping or the killing?
Well, I hope you'll be helping me and you'll be killing a lot of Duergar. I want to tell you a story. We came up as an expedition 2 years ago. Zardoc had me dragged up here, wanted to make me his 10th wife and a marriage of convenience. But several years ago, the tunnel collapsed. Something happened. The temperature changed. It cracked a lot of the stone, and the stone collapsed, cutting us off from the halls of the Underdark. So we began to construct this fortress. As you can see, it's took us several years. But in the meantime, Zardoc, he went a bit strange. He went off into his chambers by himself and wouldn't come out for days. And when he did, he was different. He sent out his Duergar loyal to his clan to collect Chardalin, to build some kind of super weapon. It's as if he's driven by a will commanded by somebody else.
Oh, I can guess who that is. Someone else.
She says, "Now the thing is, I'm sure you know my people have a reputation for evil, but we can't go on like this. All that brings about is extinction. So I want to open a trading post and sell our delicious mushrooms and beer."
Oh, will you be selling this stuff? I'll point the intellect devourer.
If we can get them. Recently, due to Zardok's power, whatever it is, we've managed to tentatively reopen the contact to the Underdark, so it's possible. But we've been on the surface now for 2 years, and quite frankly, I don't want to go back to living down there and having to watch our back.
And have you spoke with the mountain and hill dwarves of these lands?
No, because we're the only people that are loyal to me. Initially, we came from my clan, and I'm not happy about an arranged marriage with this doddery old fool. I do have contacts with some of the other Duergar from Zardok's clan that may possibly be turned, because he seems to have gone a little power mad. He's locked himself down in the forge, and I can't get access to what he's doing down there. None of my people can get in. Only the mechanicists and the engineers and those loyal to Zardok.
And that's where we come in. So what is the end game? What do you need from us?
Kill Zardok.
Kill Zardok. I mean, the man's crazy before he turns his super weapon on 10 towns. And
what is this super weapon?
it's some kind of energy-based weapon, but I've never seen it. We haven't been allowed down in the forge. We'll have to break in the forge, kill Zardok, stop the weapon, open a shop, live happily ever after. I mean, that woman that we have down in the cells, she was ranting about the gnome with the blue hair, and I assumed that was you.
Oh, what woman in the cell?
The crazy woman, the one with the grey hair with the stripe.
Does that ring a bell?
She and her mad dogs came along this way. We haven't gotten her to talk much, and then she was dragged off to the cells down on the forge level, and I don't have access to that. Like I said, Zardok treats me as just a woman, another one of his wives. But with my men and you, I'm sure we could break into the forge level.
Okay, here's the thing.
Tracy, I mentioned the other week Philianne Harple, the necromancer. She's the only woman that you know who has grey hair with a stripe in it.
All right, okay.
You've got a Harble. Well, we could leave you with it because it'll cause enough trouble. But either way,
I look at Sanwin shocked. It's like, you know,
you do know their reputation. They're all completely mad, right?
but they might be a little bit crazy, but the people of great knowledge, and you know, and you can't just dismiss that. You know, sometimes knowledge and a little bit crazy go hand in hand.
I suppose. So this weapon, what's going to happen to it once Zardok leaves this mortal coil?
We need to destroy it, obviously. It's some kind of Shardland-based energy weapon. That much I know.
You've got a deal, but we oversee its destruction.
This is acceptable to me.
Where is he? Let's go and blow him up.
He's down in the forge room. Now, the forge room, the elevator's in the training room, which is just around the corner, but it's guarded by animated suits of armour, obviously to stop me and any of my clan getting in. There's 4 of them.
Animated suits of armour, yeah.
How many?
4.
Dispel magic.
No, not that kind of animated suits of armour. The kind of animated suits of armour that'll punch you in the face. So she finishes up her interactive aura, burps, rubs her stomach, pushes it back and goes, well, I guess we've got a revolution to start then.
I find the best way to start a revolution is to cut off the leader's head and march around town with her on a spike.
Sounds like an excellent idea.
I like to be dealing someone forthright. As long as you don't try to screw us, this could be a fruitful relationship.
It sounds like a fantastic idea.
The lift you're talking about is the one that we've just passed with a chain, yeah?
No. That was a lift shaft, but it didn't have an entrance on this level.
All right.
She says it's just out of here, turn left, turn right at the next.
How do we identify your people?
I'll call out to them.
Okay, let's go then. I'll offer my hand for her to stand up because I am in all things a gentleman.
Right, she smiles and says, I like you.
I have
Hey, Sandman, you're in there, mate.
Maybe later.
She says several of them are sleeping. I can go and rouse them in the sleeping chambers.
Good. I think the more the merrier.
And so she heads off into the sleeping chambers. Are you following with her?
Yeah.
Yes, not letting her out of our sight.
Right, she walks in, that little mechanical dragon hanging around her shoulders. Looks like a pseudo dragon for those that have seen them before.
He's cute, him.
And she goes and rouses 2 of the Duergar and says, wait the others, it's time. And then they systematically go into the different rooms. And the ones that apparently Gandalf's men are walking, and the others get a war pick through the head.
We were going to do that.
They walk out, wiping off their war pick.
Efficiency.
Efficiency. So we're just going to remove all of those, leaving 4 of Randolph. Again, not a quick way to do anything. So yes, they come out from their respective little doors. They cut the throats of the other ones, or whatever. As you can see, it's quick and efficient and brutal. Right, shall we go?
Oh yes.
Like my third mother-in-law.
You head along the corridor to the south. There's a double doors which pushes open into the training room. And as you all gather together in the corridor, as I am trying to move everybody about, it's horrible.
Right. Oh.
I hate these where you've got loads of NPCs stuff about. Inside the training room, you see, again, more braziers. Scattered around the room are several training dummies made of wood and sackcloth, as well as 4 freestanding suits of plate armour. A floor-to-ceiling iron cage in the middle of the room contains an elevator shaft with chains running up and down away from it. The chains are in constant motion, and you hear loud mechanical noises high above and below. This one, however, has a hole in the north, and there's an elevator cart that comes up and stands for 1 minute in constant motion. She says you just have to wait until it's going the right direction and then hop on. You can get 4 of you on at a time.
Is there any way I can get onto the roof of it so that when it goes down?
No, it's literally there's a hole in the ceiling, a hole in the floor with iron railings around, and then there's just an opening where the elevator car comes up.
Oh, right.
Do you mean
waiter type thing?
Yeah, a bit like a dumb waiter, but with enough room for 4 people.
Okay.
She says as soon as an unauthorized personnel touches the lift or touches the suits, they'll animate and attack. What do you want to do, sir?
Let's go. Oh, well, wait a minute, they're going to activate if we touch the lift, right?
Yes.
But they'll ignore us up until we touch the lift.
Yes.
Forward then.
All right, get yourselves in positions. We can basically just stand our big hitters behind them, and as soon as someone touches the lift, mash them to bits.
Right. Well, get yourselves in position.
Would these friendly Duergar be able to like tie a few ropes around all the suits?
No,
That's a great.
they are not. They're not authorized to go down the forge level. This is Grand Alpha's big problem. Is he doesn't trust her. He's acting crazy, and the Duergar that are loyal to her came with it as part of her clan. Obviously, she was supposed to be married into the clan. So she and her Duergar are not authorized to.
So if we tied their ankles together, there's a good chance that
If they try to, they would activate an attack.
In that case, why don't we put some rope in front of them at about knee height and have the dwarves stand like gangs of tug of war to either side, so they're not actually touching them with the rope. And then when they activate, we'll have them pile forward and try to do the shove action and knock them over.
Yeah, okay, they can do that.
Okay. There's the plan. We'll try to do this physically, though, rather than blasting magic, because I'm not sure how these things will react to magic.
Neither am I. So, are you all in position where you want to be? And where do you want the Duergar?
Duergar in 2 group either side and behind either side of the lift. We'll loop the rope around at about, and then when they pull it tight, we'll have it so it snaps at knee level. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
We'll use 2 ropes together so they're nice and strong, and on my word, they're going to run towards the far wall and try to take these bastards with, and basically just do the shove action on them.
Okay, so who's opening up and doing what? How do you open this fight up? Because you'll get one person will get to act and then activate them all, then we go to initiative.
Who has the biggest alpha strike?
Lantes, if she positions herself, she can lighten in 2 at a time.
Yeah, but the issue with that is they're made of metal. I don't know how that affects automated horns and stuff like that. They've got a janky way of dealing with magic.
Although I thought it was Golem regeneral for fire.
You don't know what they are?
I honestly don't know. Like, even as a player, I don't know. But as a player, I don't think it's a good idea to chuck magic at these things until we know what it'll do, because we might end up healing them or worse. And we don't know if it duplicates them or stuff. I think this is down to the physical and maybe cantrip work. Plus, we don't want to spunk ourselves early because
Grand Alpha says, you talk a little bit, don't you?
We do.
You have no idea.
Duergar, we just do.
This is a good point. I'll turn around to Asia and go smash its head in.
Yes, boss.
So what do you do? Aisha's just going to...
I'll look around and make sure everybody's ready.
Well, if Aisha's going to smash its head in, I'll put 2 arrows into the bottom one of those 2.
Right, roll with advantage, Gracie, because they are immobile, but they are heavily armoured, so you can roll with advantage. Right, you hit armour. You had powered wreck. You smash powered wreck head in.
Oops.
No, you don't. You just hit the armour, so wait to take target. Right, go for it. Right, you hit. You need to do damage.
Sorry.
Right, you smash the armour and everything activates. All shit. I want to roll all initiatives. I'll just roll everybody's for this combat, otherwise we'll be on forever me rolling the initiative. Okay, so first up for surprise, we get Mr. Toscobble.
Right, I shall put my little Gracie mark on that little bit there. Yeah, just upon him. And now we shall try a couple of arrows, see if that has any effect.
It hits 7 damage. Yes, it is wounded. You can fire again.
Yep.
Oh, look at this. And all the damage is coming out. Bang. Heavily damaged. So unless you're moving, that is your turn.
I will back off a little, because I can still hit it from there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my done. Oh, sorry, hang on. I've just got to drag... I've only got a small screen. I've got to drag me combat tracker about.
Next up is Duergar, who is going to attempt to do a shove attack, you say.
Yes.
And he does do that indeed. He fails dismally and looks kind of worried. Drek, he will also try a shove attack. Cannot shove while grappled. It's just dragging him about, punching him in the face. Also fails to shove. They look very worried. Sandman. Corrin's heavily injured his in one swift volley. They don't appear to be too tough.
I will shoot it with my crossbow.
Shoot it with your crossbow. You miss. Very good. Are you done? Suit of armor beat up. Attacks Duergar next to him. You go. There's a slam attack. Hits. There's another slam attack. Blocked by armor. Next to it we have a Duergar doing jack shit. Broken finger. Do you want them all to just keep shoving, or do you want them to start hitting them?
I think the ones that have failed just start hitting them.
Okay, he whips out his war pick and sets about him. And rolls a 1. Wow. That's going well, isn't it? Randolph, what can Randolph do? Shooting shit off. Shrinking by that. Too close quarters. She says, I can't use any of my spells because it's too close quarters. I'll end up hitting you.
I know that face. I know that so hardly. Fireball is such a wonderful terrible concept.
Burn me, old friend. Whack. And go whack whack. You haven't got multi-attack yet, though, have you? You just go whack.
Wacka wacka wacka.
Max damage with a smash. The creature falls to the ground in bits. Oh, the comely Duergar. Bound chicka wow wow. Hits the suit of armor, damaging it. Isha. We are.
I hit mine again.
Up to you.
Or not.
Perhaps not. Perhaps. Is that everything?
Yep.
Bat moves. Suit of armor twisted. Hits you back with a slam. It misses the first one. It slams the second. Also a miss. Owl. Tracy. Owl.
The owl guns before me.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I need to reveal a secret. One of the player characters is a secret owl.
Dum 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 dum.
One of the player. That just went over my head. Have me owl do a swoop attack on the one nearest Asia.
Okay, go for it. Just drag the attack and drop it on it, and then
go for the eyes. Twitter.
Go for the eyes, boo. Go for the eyes.
No, it's Twitter woo.
Twitter woo. Yeah. Go for the eyes. Twitter. And he hits and does a point of damage. Wow. Go owl.
And then fly back away. I'm going to cast lightning bolt.
Let loose the power of lightning. Both failures hit that big old damage as you go zappity zap. Choo!
Ouch.
Bang! Get down. Yeah, one instantly drops. One is incredibly badly damaged with lightning shorting it out everywhere.
Thank God for that.
Is that your turn?
If I move, how much movement have I got left?
If you move out of its range, then it'll get an opportunity attack.
Right, I'll just stay where he is.
Right, so next is Suit of Armor Gangly. Obviously sees you as a threat as you've just almost blown it away. It hits for a little bit of bludgeoning damage. Hits again, for a little bit more bludgeoning damage. Spider climb expired. Oh, we must have knocked the effect off. As sparks shoot off it. Okay, this Duergar runs up and attempts to attack with its war pick. The one that's fighting Asia, but it does not affect it. Excellent. End of round. The whole floor and ceiling and all the walls around you begin to vibrate and shake violently. And Grandolpher says, "He's opening the doors, the mad bastard. He's opening the doors." Corrin, it is your turn.
Right. I shouted that Duergar in Dwarvish, duck.
Okay.
And then I'd better put the old
mark on.
I'd better put the old mark on. Right. Better put the old Doss's mark on that one, and then
you miss.
Try again.
That's better.
Like it.
You hit the armor. It's heavily damaged. The arrow sticking straight through it.
Right. I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, hang on. I've got to do that. Oh, you've done it.
Duergar attacks with a war pick. Misses. This NPCs are great. Who would Drek and Bracy beat the crap out of? Attacks with a war pick. Rolls another one. Doing well. Salmon, your turn.
I will shoot it with my crossbow.
Okay. Wee ka-chunk. You miss. Duergar with the broken finger. Yes, he's going to attack the war pick. Oh, gets a crit. This is going to hurt so much. 18 points of damage. Pierces it through the helmet and it goes and then collapses to the floor dead. He looks quite happy. Randolph says, good work. Ben,
nice shot, man.
It is your turn. The fortress around you continues to vibrate.
I missed.
Yeah, we had high hopes for you, but sadly you miss. Comely Duergar is like, hey, baby. Runs across the room and takes a wild swing with the war pick. Missing Aisha. It is your turn again, sir.
Hit it again. Fuck my life.
Bounces off its armor. Bat. Bat Dave. Like, Bat doesn't do anything, dodges.
No.
Suit of armor. Is going to attack Aisha, slamming you twice for a miss. And another miss. Owl. Tracy.
Owl, yeah. We've just got one target left, yeah.
And the pussycat.
Gonna have a go at the old thing. Do a swoopy. Where's the damn? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Damage one, yeah. The owl once more shows Aisha how it's done, and he's heavily injured. Lantesh.
Gonna cast firebolt.
If you're firing past all those people, it will have cover mind.
On magic missile.
Yeah, you magic missile if you want. Cover's only a +2 to its AC if you want to fire a firebolt.
No, I'll do magic missile because then I don't have to roll to hit the thing.
Okay. You shoot a magic missile, and the thing explodes.
I move to the cage and wait for the one down and hop on. I think I need another 3.
Right, so it goes, the cage is currently heading up, so it takes around a minute to come back. And in that minute, the gates must have opened for the thing stops shaking. And then a terrible, terrible screeching sound assaults your ear. Grandolpher says, "My God, he's done it. He's activated the damn thing."
I think we should have gone down first.
I think it sounds like you having a wank.
Well, if he's firing at Dougan's hole, that's no great loss.
Well, we
And
better go and stop him.
you hear
Aye.
a rushing coming up that large shaft around the corner. You're hearing that noise coming up the shaft.
Well, I'm ready to hop on there with Ben.
I'm going to hop on.
We need to get down there and sort the bastard out.
So you hop on. So it's Ben, Sanwin,
Corin,
and Corin.
and who else?
Me, I'll come.
Right.
Right. The shaft apparently leads up to the doors on the.
I am right in thinking we're meant to be going down to the forge level to sort him out, aren't I?
Yes, that was the original plan, was to head down to the forge level. What are the rest of you doing as you hear something scraping and screeching coming up that shaft around the corner?
Presumably, it takes him a while to winch it up the shaft to a point where he can fire it.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Right. So this thing just blows past this floor.
Sounds like somewhat substantial we wouldn't have been able to stop moving.
You head down to the bottom forge floor.
And the remaining go up as an intercepted attack ability.
So the remaining is Aisha and a bunch of Duergar.
I think they should follow us down.
Yeah,
It'll take
Personally.
another 3 minutes for them, unless, like I said, Brissy, do you want to jump on and have a look and see what's gone up the shaft?
Yeah.
You are? Okay, so you head on the elevator up to the roof. You guys come down and you end up in the eastern elevator room, and standing before you is, what the hell is this? It looks like the dead body of a Duergar that has been rammed into some kind of mechanical suit. The thing has a gigantic steam hammer where its one hand used to be, and a massive claw device, and it goes and comes to life as you step off the elevator.
I'm going to need me tin opener.
You're going to need your tin opener, yes, the Duergar hammer. Basically, you jump onto the elevator with a couple of the Duergar and you head up to the roof. And flying away from you, already several hundred feet, is the most bizarre, dangerous thing you may have ever seen in your life. It's gigantic and black.
Oh, poop.
Made entirely of Chardolin, where its heart should be, yellow energy pulses through. Its wings are a black, rubbery substance. And its grill head doesn't open, it emits that metallic roar as it flies straight towards Dugan's hole. And that's, I think, where we should leave it.